In this video, we gently explore ASMR, its meaning, its effects, and its place in modern wellness.
From the quietest corners of the internet and now has millions and millions of followers. Yep, we're talking about ASMR, and we're about to figure out what's really going on. Okay, so this is the big question, right? Why on earth are millions of people tuning in to watch strangers whisper into a microphone? And let's be honest, on the surface, it sounds kind of weird. But believe me, there's a fascinating reason this whole thing has taken off, and it's so much more than just quiet talking. You know, this thing didn't just pop up overnight. It really went from being this super niche, almost hidden online community to a full-blown mainstream wellness tool that people use for everything from relaxation to helping them sleep. It's a wild example of how the internet can create totally new ways for us to take care of ourselves. All right, so let's get right into it. The viral sensation explained. We're going to start with the absolute basics and figure out what this thing actually is. Okay, here's the full-on official name, Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response. Yeah, it's a mouthful, I know. But what it really boils down to is this really pleasant, relaxing feeling. Sometimes you get this gentle tingling sensation, but honestly, for a lot of people, it's not even about the tingles. It's just this deep sense of calm that just washes over you. So what causes this feeling? Well, it all comes down to specific triggers. And we're talking about the classics here. Things like gentle whispering, or maybe the sound of someone tapping their nails on a desk. You've got soft brushing sounds, the sound of turning pages in a book. You can even be triggered by just watching someone's slow, careful hand movements. These are like the essential ingredients of ASMR. Okay, but how? I mean, how can a simple sound actually make you feel so physically relaxed? To get that, we've got to look at the science of it all. So the science behind the tingles. Let's dive into our own nervous system. So the easiest way to think about this is like a car. Your nervous system has a gas pedal and a brake. The gas pedal, that's your sympathetic system. It's your fight or flight response that gets you all revved up for stress and action. But ASMR, it hits the brake. It activates your parasympathetic system, which basically tells your entire body, hey, it's safe, you can chill out, rest, and recover. It's like someone is literally pushing your internal calm down button. So here's what's actually happening in your body, step by step. First, a gentle trigger, like a whisper, signals to your brain that everything's okay, you're safe. Then, your body responds. Your heart rate actually slows down, and you start breathing deeper. Your muscles, they start to unclench. And here's the really cool part. Because your brain is so focused on that one sound or visual, all those stressful, racing thoughts just start to quiet down. So now we know how it works. But the thing is, what works for one person might be totally different for another. It's not a one-size-fits-all deal. It's really more like a huge buffet of triggers. And wow, the variety is just incredible. I mean, you've got your basic audio stuff, like tapping and scratching. Then there's visual stuff, like just watching someone handle an object really carefully. You even get these super elaborate role plays, like a simulated haircut or a doctor's exam, that are all about getting personal attention. Some people don't want any talking at all, just ambient sounds, like rain or keyboard typing. Really, the whole point is to just explore and see what clicks for you. Okay, so it all sounds pretty great, right? But like with any wellness tool, you have to have a balanced view. It's not some magic bullet. So we got to look at both sides of the coin, the benefits versus the limitations. So on the pro side, the reasons people absolutely love this stuff are pretty clear. I mean, people swear by it for getting better sleep. They say it genuinely helps take the edge off their stress and anxiety. Some even use it to help them focus while they work or study. And for a lot of people, it's just plain comforting. Plus, and this is a big one, it's free and accessible right on your phone. But we've got to be real about the cons too. First off, it just flat out doesn't work for everybody. And for some people, these exact same sounds are actually super irritating. There's even a name for it, misophonia, where certain noises can make you feel angry or anxious. There's also the chance you could become a little too dependent on it to fall asleep. And, we have to admit, while the scientific research is growing, it's still pretty new. And this really leads to the most important takeaway here. Experts are very clear on this. ASMR should be viewed as a supportive tool. It is not, and I repeat, not a replacement for actual therapy or professional medical treatment. Think of it as one helpful tool in your wellness toolbox, not the whole kit. So, after we've weighed the good and the bad, where do the experts actually land on all of this? What's the final call on this whole internet phenomenon? Let's check out the expert verdict. Which brings us to the big question, probably the one you've been wondering this whole time. Is ASMR legitimate? I mean, with all its quirks and the fact that we're still learning about it, is this a real wellness practice, or is it just some internet fad that's going to disappear? Well, the answer from the experts is yeah, a pretty clear yes. Psychologists widely see it as a legitimate form of relaxation. They'll often put it in the same category as things we're way more familiar with, like mindfulness or guided meditation. It's just a different road to get to the same destination, a calm, focused state of mind. Because at the end of the day, its legitimacy really comes down to the results. It doesn't have to work for 100% of people. The fact is, for the millions of people who do feel it, the effects are totally real. We're talking about measurable changes, a slower heart rate, that feeling of peace, actually being able to fall asleep. You can't really argue with that. So that kind of leaves us with one last thing to think about. You know, our world is just so loud. It's so demanding and busy. So is it possible that the future of how we all relax is actually quiet? It's something to chew on. Anyway, thanks so much for digging into this with me.